Ladies and gentlemen, we would now like to invite Branch President of the Prince Albert II of Monaco Foundation
and Honorary Council of the Principality of Monaco in Singapore and in Delhi. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jackie Duromedy.
Let's have a round of applause, please.
Good evening. Your Serene Highness, Prince Albert II of Monaco, Your Serene Highness, Princess Charlene of Monaco, Your Excellency, Mr. Iswaran, Minister in Prime Minister's Office, Second Minister for Home Affairs and Trade and Industry, Your Excellency, Mr. Bernard Fautrier, Vice President and CEO of the Foundation Prince Albert II of Monaco. Monaco citizens, ladies and gentlemen, my always supporting friends. Welcome to Ball in Monaco, Charity for the Planet, a fundraising gala dinner for the Foundation Prince Albert II of Monaco. I'm, like all of you, very honored by the presence of their Serene Highnesses. Thank you very much, Your Highnesses, for having made this possible despite your hectic schedules. I need to thank all those who supported this event. It is because of them that we are here in this iconic Marina Bay Sands resort, that we will have a fantastic dinner designed by Mr. Guy Savor, 3 Michelin stars, who flew specially to Singapore for this event and whom I want to thank very much. Also best champagnes from Perrier-Jouët, professional dancers, fashion show from the Haute Couture Week in presence of Mr. Didier Grumbach, President of la Fédération Française de la Haute Couture, whom I thank very much for making the trip to be with us tonight with 18 haute couture designers, all from Paris. Very importantly, we should be able to reach the targeted amount with your help during the auctions, which will allow us to support some of the foundation's actions around the world. First, thank you to our very generous platinum sponsors, Selton, represented by Mr. Andy Wong and Mrs. Wong, FIDE, represented by Dr. Frank Chintamani, Marina Bay Sands, represented by Mr. George Tanasijevic and Mrs. Tanasijevic, MasterCard, represented by Mr. Mathieu Driver and Mrs. Driver, Midas, represented by Mr. Alexander Zanzer, who have been kind enough to give us for one night beautiful jewels, which I am wearing. Her Highness is also wearing some earrings, and Sophie also. Thank you to my fabulous organizing committee, Celeste Bazapa, my co-chair, and my dear friends Lotus So, Viviana Bernard, Gertie Iwatek, Janet Stride, June Go, Nana Ochua, Laurence Harel, and only one courageous man, Chris Wilson. Thank you to Sophie and her team from Adstoria, who created and designed Ball in Monaco and all Monaco Ball logos, invitations, fans, and souvenir book, but also who specially produced motion design projections, which you will see all around during the evening. Special thanks to Benoît Baduf, le Regional Director Asia Pacific for Société des Bains de Mer, and Camilla Hall. It has been sometimes very stressful, but it was a pleasure to work with such a team for the best of the Foundation. Last but not least, thank you to all of you here tonight who are supporting the Foundation by your presence and your donations, and going to help again with the auction coming soon, as we will still need to raise some more funds. Monseigneur, I also wanted to thank you for making the decision to open the 8th office of your foundation in Singapore. We Asian people, I am Asian a bit, know that 8 is the symbol of luck, and as such, we have to be a real luck to support your actions around the world. This event is very important to me because I feel strongly the need to support this cause, which becomes more and more urgent every day. Albert Schweitzer said, "Man has lost the capacity to foresee and to forestall. He will end up destroying the earth." I believe in men. I believe in our capacity to be responsible and to fulfill our duty, because it's still time to do it. We are here today to challenge ourselves and try to foresee what we want the future of our children to be. You received a personal invitation to attend this gala dinner. It is an invitation for change. It is our turn to act. This is our 3rd event in Singapore to support the foundation, and we are, since few months, the 8th branch of the foundation, which gives this magic number of 38. And in Chinese, 38 means always prosper. It will be a big success. Your Serene Highness, we want to thank you for all your efforts to save our planet, traveling around the world to convince heads of states and decision makers. We want to support you. We want to be your spokespersons. We want to relay your messages. We want to act for the planet. Let me borrow some words from Winston Churchill. Everyone knew it was impossible. Then someone turns up who didn't know, and he did it. Let's dance tonight for the future of our children. May we dance a long time in complete harmony with the world. Please stand and raise your glasses to their Serene Highnesses, and with them, happiness, prosperity, and long life. To their Serene Highnesses, thank you. And now I leave the floor to His Serene Highness, Prince Albert II of Monaco.
Thank you very much, Jackie. Your Excellency, Minister Iswaran, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, a wonderful evening to you all. I'm delighted, and on behalf of Princess Charlene, we are delighted to be among you this evening for this what would be undoubtedly a wonderful and beautiful evening in this wonderful setting. So let me first thank again Jackie Delomedi, President of my foundation's Singapore branch, who also acts as our Consul General of Monaco here in Singapore, and her team for the wonderful organization of this event. I think we can give them a very big hand. We will experience exceptional moments of sharing on issues, I think, which we all have a common awareness. Despite the oceans that separate our two countries, despite the different specificities of our lives, despite the good fortunes we have in Singapore and in Monaco alike, of being somewhat preserved from the tumultuous world around us and the different crises that our world is facing, I think we share the same awareness, the same concern, and the same need to act in the face of the dangers that threaten our planet and our environment. We are seeing an increase in extreme weather phenomena, hurricanes, floods, drought, proof that the general disruption to the global climate system linked to the warming of the atmosphere and its countless consequences. You have probably seen the latest figures published just a few days ago, which shows that global greenhouse gas emissions rose by some 2.5% last year, meaning that they have increased over 50% since 1990. This situation seriously jeopardizes any hope of limiting the global average temperature rise to 2 degrees Celsius over the course of this century, an increase above which significant upheaval is considered unavoidable by scientists. And on this note, I had a wonderful visit this afternoon of Gardens by the Bay, and they have a wonderful exhibit there, and a very educational one, a short film that shows what unfortunately might be a possible scenario if that increase of average temperatures around the world should reach plus 5 degrees Celsius by the year 2100. It is a very daunting and scary prospect. But please, if you haven't seen it, do go and see it. We can also see that the Arctic sea ice, which seems to be eternal, is already endangered, and that its retreat, now forecast, will in turn accelerate global warming. We know that ocean acidity and ocean acidity levels are constantly increasing, already posing serious problems not only for certain species and certain economic activities, but for the entire marine ecosystem. We cannot remain indifferent to the fact that 5,000 square meters of primary forest are destroyed every second, that 3 species die every hour, and that finally it is a little piece of each of us that disappears. We're all aware of these phenomena. Passiveness, inevitability, or abandonment are not acceptable. It is the reason of our presence here this evening. Moreover, I know that you as citizens are making efforts and committed to finding effective solutions in these dangers. You as consumers are also engaging whatever possible and whenever possible, vigilant to the impact of our actions, of your actions. Finally, you as corporate leaders are taking action, as economic growth cannot eternally impact on the degradation of our natural resources. The green economy is considered a profitable perspective and therefore cannot be ignored. With my responsibilities, I too have been taking action by way of these various measures. I do so by actively taking part in many international fora where the future of our environment is decided. I do so by strongly supporting the scientists who enlighten us on these realities. And I do so by encouraging, in Monaco and elsewhere, various innovative companies in the fields of renewable energies and environmental protection. Faced with these global issues, which bring into play many parameters and many players, one cannot act effectively in the change of the course of the events acting alone. It is one of the reasons why in 2006 I created a tool that would be more efficient, more concrete, and more readily operational. This tool is my foundation, for which we are gathered here tonight. In the 6 years plus of its existence, my foundation has already conducted over 200 projects across the globe in 3 key areas: climate, biodiversity, and water, and sustainable energies. From the African deserts to Canada's Arctic tundra, from the Mediterranean shores to the forests of Southeast Asia. All these activities are implemented in close cooperation with local partners or other organizations. The challenge is for each project ensuring the greatest effectiveness possible through maximally targeted actions, both on fauna and flora, but also on the activity and life of local populations. Having met many of these communities suffering from environmental degradation, I know that no progress can be achieved without their implication. And more importantly, nothing can be achieved if acting against them. Our actions must be guided with a spirit of partnership and dialogue with states, international organizations, and major environmental protection institutions, which for us are natural partners. With companies and local stakeholders who represent an essential power of initiative, and with the populations who are the prerequisite for success at the same time as the goal of any earnest action for the preservation of nature. Through fauna and flora and the climate, it is always life that we are endeavoring to preserve. Life and the environment for future generations who will succeed us on this planet and to whom we have the duty to hand down a healthy planet. A world with balanced ecosystems, be they terrestrial or marine. I was mentioning before the number of species that disappear every second, both fauna and flora. And I just want to tie in the great efforts that you are doing here in Singapore, but also in Asia, on the awareness of a problem concerning sharks, concerning great predators. And Charlene and I were at a wonderful event at Michael Ma's Indochine last night, and with a campaign to end the consumption and the commercial issues concerning shark fin, and with a wonderful new foundation, new association called Shark Savers. And so congratulations on that issue as well. It is a heavy burden of responsibility, but it is also an exciting mission. And together we can make changes in a truly effective, sustainable, and shared manner. Though it may sometimes be impossible considering the scale of the task, we must never lose hope. But on the contrary, we must remember the words of the First Lady of the United States, Eleanor Roosevelt, who many years ago said, "You must do the thing you think you cannot do." This evening, I've come to thank you for doing what many people think is still impossible: improve the future of our planet. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening.